hope everyone is doing well. We are still really doing all the right things when it comes to COVID, and I hope we are still pursuing the vision. I think I've started a series. I started last Wednesday, and I started talking about the typical Ghanaian mindset. And I started this series just because of how people were trolling and mocking our own brother, one of the biggest achievers in Ghana, that is Amwabin of UT Bank. And I think it is time certain things needs to be voiced out. Because if me and you don't say it, who is going to say it for us? There is a quote. I don't think probably if I will get it right. They say I think it's about Bob Marley who said it, that I don't know. I can't remember very well, but it goes like this. I want to paraphrase it, that if wise people are quiet, then fools will rule. Now social media has become a voice for everybody, and I think that is something good, meaning that all of us can really be able to voice out our views. But I believe for everything there are limitations in life. The fact that you have too much of food at the moment doesn't mean that you have to eat all of them. If you decide to eat all of them, then it means that you are foolish. Meaning that for everything we need to add wisdom to it. And I think the way Africa is going, the way Ghana is going, one of our biggest challenges is our mindset. One of our biggest challenge is our mindset. Until our mindset changes, nothing will change. Wherever you find yourself in life, it's not because of what you don't have. It's because of the mindset that you carry. Wherever you have reached in life, it's because of your mindset. Your mindset is critical to your success in life, period. If you don't believe in it, it wouldn't happen. And the biggest limitation is life. It's not the limitation placed on us by other people, but the limitation we placed in our minds. Because when you have been able to overcome the limitation in your mind, no limitation outside can stop you. There are certain things that did not look possible. When you read the likes of colonization and slavery, nobody thought that it could stop. But some people stood the test of time to stop it. And it's all in the mind. Whoever you think you want to be in life, it's all in the mind. Sometimes some people talk about, motivational speakers. They just talk. No. We are a new generation of motivational speakers who have passed through the mill. We didn't start talking when we were rich. And we are not even rich at the moment. But we have passed through the mill, that experiences that we have gathered is so much to share. Today I shared a story about me when I started. I've been on Facebook for the last 10 years. And today is my first day of having 1K views on a written post. Though I have had 1K views, over 1K views post on LinkedIn, I've had over 1K views on my radio programs, but as a written post, the first time on Facebook, today is the first time I've had 1K views on a particular post. And I shared about when I started, and I post things on social media, on WhatsApp, and most times people don't even come back to give me feedback. It reached a time it was very distressing. It was like, are you doing the right thing? It was like, are you really spewing garbage? Why is it that people don't even come back to say? And you see, it's been an amazing journey. It's been an amazing journey. If you go to my Facebook profile now, you will see the post. And the post is, don't wait for feedback before you get motivated. Mindset is everything. And until Ghanaians change their mindset, on a personal level, you will not succeed. Not to talk about the nation. Because when individually our mindset changes, then collectively it is going to impact nation building. It is time Africa needs leaders that are going to steer the people on a different mindset. Mindset is everything. My book that is coming out, you will love it, man. Mindset Revolution. Re-engineering the mind from prison to purpose. Majority of you are not in physical prison, but you are in one of the most dangerous prisons on earth, and that is the mind. If your mind is in prison, nothing will work. Until there's freedom here, until limitations are broken, until self-limiting beliefs are destroyed, there is no way you can succeed in life. Now, I'm talking about the typical Ghanaian mindset. Now, you can write this thing down. Let me go straight to business. The mindset of the Ghanaian is to earn and spend today, and not what will sustain them for the future. The mindset of the Ghanaian is to earn and spend today, and not what will sustain them for the future. We are not ready to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. Our mindset is instant spending, instant. We are instant people. We get it today, we spend it today, we finish it today, we destroy it today. That is the kind of mindset that we have. When you meet somebody and you want to start a business with them, and the business, when you look at the business, how the business is, and you look at how the business is, and probably it's going to take maybe 5 years for you to break through, or 5 years for you to start making returns, or let's say even 3 years. I can bet you a lot of Ghanaians will not go for such business. Because in their minds, the kind of business that they want is the business they make profit today and start spending today. Sometimes I meet people that wins a huge contract, and what they do is to take a chunk of the money to buy a car. That means a private car. We don't think about the future. We are today oriented, not future oriented. It's about how we want people to see us today, not how people will see us for the long haul. And that is why we are struggling. That is why the nation is not moving forward, because we are today oriented. If somebody starts a business and the business is supposed to take long for it to really break through, and the people that are supposed to support you for the business to succeed, their mindset is what they are going to gain today. Not how the business is going to run for the long haul for all of it to be wealthy. The mind of the people is to destroy the business today. A lot of businesses are collapsing in Ghana, not just because of the business owners, but because of the people they entrust the business into them. for them to really take care of the business. So what you need to write down first is that the mindset of the Ghanaian is to earn today and spend today, and not what will sustain them for the future. I always say for every rule, there's an exception. This doesn't mean that all Ghanaians are the same. No, there are some that are really making impact. There are some that are making a difference. There are some that in their small ways, they are really, really, really changing the status quo. But the majority of us, that is the way we are. Our mind is to destroy today. I'm going to talk about the good side of Ghanaians. I don't want to only dwell on the bad side for you to think, oh, he's giving a picture of Ghanaians negatively. No, we have got a good side. I don't want no one to hold me responsible, you know. I have to be a smart guy. Because some of these discussions are very delicate. And if you are not careful, people are going to hold you. But this is the gospel truth. And they say the truth hurts. Why? Because people don't want to change. Now the good side of Ghanaians, very hospitable. Ghanaians are very accepting. You see, if you live in Ghana all your life, and you haven't had the opportunity to live outside Ghana, I mean, when I say outside Ghana, maybe you have even lived in Ivory Coast, Nigeria, UK, whatever it is, and you come back to Ghana, it is there you identify how hospitable Ghanaians are. Sometimes when I'm walking on the streets of Accra and somebody says good morning, I'm even surprised. Because in the UK, nobody says good morning to you. When I meet a woman in the morning and they give me a genuine smile, and that smile, in addition, comes with a good morning, I feel so touched. In the UK, the best you can have is a fake smile. We are very good people. We are hospitable. We accept people. Number two, we are very happy people. If you guys don't know, this America and all this United Kingdom and Europe, some of you are yearning to come. It's very good. But I can tell you, some of these people over here are very miserable. They don't have anybody to talk to. They are stressed and depressed. The moment you arrive at Kotoka International Airport, you start meeting immigration officers, you come out at the airport, it looks like a load has been lifted from you. Why? Even the smile of Ghanaians that you meet, how they accept you, it makes things, it makes a lot of pressure come off you. Hardly do you meet a Ghanaian who is stressed. Hardly. It doesn't matter what they are going through. It doesn't matter whether they are poor or rich. They can put a smile on your face. And that is number two. Ghanaians are very supportive. Our supportive nature is on a social level. I mean social interventions. I remember one day I was driving. In Ghana, if you are driving and you don't know the roads very much, sometimes you can easily fall into some serious ditch. I was just passing on the road, turning, and not knowing, in the middle of the road was a big hole, and it was in the night. So when I was turning, it was on my blind side. So the passenger side of the car, the tire just entered into it. And this was like, there were no houses around. So there was a drinking spot over there. And I just went there and I told the guys that they should come and help me. It took these guys about 20 to 30 minutes to get the car from the gutter. And I'm like, in this country that I live in, who will waste their time to come and help you with your car? If you don't have an AA, your car will forever stay there. Ghanaians, you see, when you are going somewhere and you ask a Ghanaian for direction and he doesn't even know the place, he will make sure you get to the right person. They will stop whatever they are doing, make sure they get the right person to give you direction. We are very supportive people, but that is on a social intervention level. When somebody supports you and they meet you maybe 3-4 days time or a week's time, they will ask you, were you able to find a place? That is how nice we are. They are always ready to offer help when you ask them, and can even go the extra mile, leaving whatever they are doing to sort you out. So in all, Ghanaians are nice people. Let me tell you, I have never met. I remember back in the days, there was this white guy. His son, I think they are part of this Latter-day Saints. So his son went to Ghana for mission for I think about 2 years. So this guy met my mom and my dad, and they took my number. So when the son came back from the UK, they called me and we went for a dinner in their house. That time I've met my wife Fresh. We went for a dinner in their house. And I can testify how this man and the son were talking about Ghanaians, the way we are nice and hospitable. Now my question is, our social intervention niceness, can we translate it to building equity, to building wealth, to supporting the nation to grow, and supporting each other to success? Can we do that? Because it means that when we move on a different dimension, we are different people. We are different people when we goes to a different dimension. Please, if you are here, you can share this for somebody to listen to this. Because this is the Ghana we have, and we have to learn from each other. Our positive side, you can write this thing down. Our positive side is for only social interventions, but not to build the future and create wealth. Our positive side is for only social interventions, but not to build the future and create wealth. Excuse me. I want to talk about something that probably some of you might be used to, but some of you might not. For almost getting to 2 years now, I've been spending more time in Ghana. And if I tell you some of the challenges that I face, I always tell my friends abroad that, look, if you are not ready, if you are not emotionally, physically, psychologically, if you are not ready, don't go to Ghana. Because the system is frustrating. That if you are not careful, you just carry your bags and leave. Leave every project you are doing. Why? Because everybody in their own way is like a mini God. So I'm going to talk about the mini God nature of Ghanaians. When a Ghanaian rises to a certain level, and I always give an exception, it's not all Ghanaians, but majority of us, when we rise to a certain level, getting access to them is very difficult. There are pastors that even if you want to see them, the protocols you have to go through before you meet them is so amazing. Pastor. Who should we have an access to? Very easily. Who should we have an access to? Should it be a pastor or a political figure? When I go to a church and the church has got a high protocol before you meet the pastor, I'm like, then why are you a pastor for? You are not a pastor. You are a businessman. If you want to see a pastor and 3, 4 times, 5 times you try and you never see the pastor, then there is a problem. When we rise to a certain level, it becomes so difficult for us to have access to certain men in Ghana. They become mini gods. How can we rise above this? You see, what people don't understand is that whatever position that you are in, you are there to serve. Ours is the other way around. Instead of our leaders serving us, we rather serve them. I was just wondering that if some of our pastors were Jesus Christ, I'm wondering if they will have the guts to wash the feet of their disciples. Because some are arrogant, some think they are God. You see, the most interesting part of the whole thing is that when people amass resources to a certain level and they think they are on top of their game, they think that, it's like they don't need anybody anymore. And that is why they form boundaries. They form a territory where they make it so difficult for others to penetrate. It is so difficult to meet people in position when you are in Ghana. I'm not even talking about MPs or politicians. For some of them, some is even 2 words. I want to talk about an ordinary person that probably have started his business is going on well, and you want to meet that person. I was speaking to one of my friends 3 days ago. He wanted to go to Ghana. I told him that, look, you have to prepare your mind. Otherwise, you will not last. And I'm not saying this to discourage you, but I can tell you the system is very frustrating. And if you don't have that willpower, you will not survive in that market. Things that email can do in Ghana, you have to drive and be there. Email does not even work in Ghana for so many people. Even in the corporate world, when you send email to somebody, you need to still call the person and say, I've sent you the email. There will be no response until you call and call and call and call and call. And one of the things that is happening in Ghana is what I call I am the busy syndrome. How busy can you be? How busy can you be? We that are even staying abroad, that our life is so structured, our life is on autopilot. We still have time for certain things. Now, every Ghanaian you meet and you call, they will never mind you. And the next time that they pick your call or you meet them, they say, I'm busy. How busy can you be? I had a discussion with an FM station. And they said they were going to call me for an interview. Or they will call me for us to talk about the project we want to do. Because of COVID, I left and I came back to London to come and be with the family. Just about 3-4 days ago, I was there. One of the managers called me. And it was like, can you come to the office on Monday? I said, what's the problem? He was like, they are now ready for us to have the discussion. I'm like, it's taking you 2 months to make a decision. to have a common meeting that might probably take 30 minutes. The system is such that they have created it that anybody that really wants to rise and get to a certain level, when you don't have the resources that they have, you need to be prepared, man. You need to be prepared. Because it's not an easy journey. It's not an easy journey. You can call somebody for the uptime time and they will never pick their calls. And this is not like, it's not like they don't want to pick your calls. So. No. They will tell you they are busy. You see, we don't have a system that brings growth. No, we don't. Our system does not bring growth. Our system is meant to suppress anybody. So it's like a forest. Ghana is like a forest. And there are some people that they are now become trees. And if you are a seed that you spring up, the system is more likely to crush you. That is how Ghana is. Because those people that have become trees are now like mini gods that are controlling the system. How can we grow with this? You tell me. How can we grow with this kind of attitude? Sometimes we talk about Accra has developed, Accra has developed, Accra has developed. Accra is not Ghana. Accra is not Ghana. Just move outside Accra and count the number of villages that you see from Accra to Kumasi. From Kumasi to Sunyani, from Sunyani to Tamale. Count the number of villages that you will see. And you see that Ghana is still poor. Our development is nowhere. You see, and Kwame Nkrumah says, until the total liberation of the nation, we are not liberated yet. There are certain roads that if you pass on that road, by the time you come back, you need 3 days off. The mindset of the people. I was speaking to one of my colleagues, and the road that they did in his area in Accra, in 1 year, the road has come back to its original state. Why? Because the road was not done well. We don't have a progressive developmental attitude. No. Before you get a breakthrough in Ghana, it's very difficult. Sometimes I pity young people who are coming up. Young people that don't have the resources at stake. They don't have helpers. They are not connected in society. When I look at them, I'm like, this is where we talk about you need God. Because you can't do it alone. You need a breakthrough. But who is going to give you the breakthrough? Because the system is not created for people to survive, not to talk about thriving. A friend of mine started a business, and I think he went for his quotation for the tax here, and I'm like, this is a small business. How can this person pay such a tax? You see, we need an overhauling of the system. But for the overhauling of the system to even come, what we need is the overhauling of the mind. The overhauling of the mind is for us to understand that we have to even help each other. You see, let me give you a typical scenario. Yeah? When all of us are on this level, everybody's fine with you. Everybody's okay. Because all of us are on this level. So, for example, all of us are teachers. We are earning 1,000 Ghana cedis. And you get the opportunity to go and do your master's and your PhD. And they realize that you have got the opportunity to go higher than them. So now you move from the teacher of earning 1,000 Ghana cedis to probably becoming a lecturer. And then they start hating you. You see, instead of celebrating with you, they rather start becoming jealous, and they rather want to find ways to bring you down. I don't know where we learned this thing from. It has become a culture that our young people are also learning from it. That we cannot celebrate the success of others, but rather we want to destroy the success of others. And whether you like it or yes, this is what is on the ground. The moment all of you are on this level and you start moving this, then the hatred starts. But when all of you are on this level, everybody is fine with you. Everybody is happy. Everybody is okay with you. They just still want to be your friend. When I came back from Ghana, one of my Nigerian friends called me. He was like, Oga Oscar, now I've been seeing you going Ghana back and forth. Oga, what is the secret now? That is the typical Nigerian. A Ghanaian will meet you. Oscar, how be Ghana, Charlie? Ghana, they no be easy, oh, Charlie. You the force, Charlie. But how they survive for there? Our people. I remember when I told some people that I was coming to Ghana to spend more time. They are like, how are you going to survive? You see, we don't look at the positive side of anything. Everything is about the negativity of the whole show. And our aim is to really cause you to give up. We are not encouraging people. No. The moment you start sharing your challenges with a Ghanaian, I can tell you that is the moment you start falling. Why? Because a Ghanaian have got 1,000 reasons why that thing you are doing will not be successful. But for them to give you one reason is a problem. And when you open up to them that you are struggling, they have got you. Because in their minds, they have told themselves that you will never get to anywhere. In Ghana, you have to know who you share your things with. It's not anybody that's worth it. The people that are surrounding you, it's not all of them that are happy that you are progressing. You don't have job. Your friend doesn't have job. When you have job ahead of your friend, there is a problem. Because your friend was waiting that either he gets the job or the two of you stay at the same level. And I want to say, what I'm saying is that whatever I'm saying here, there is an exception. It doesn't mean that it's all Ghanaians, but I can tell you it's majority of us. We don't have an encouraging spirit. A spirit where we work together, we fight together. When we are down, we work together and get up together. We don't have that spirit. Now, when one gets job ahead of the other, the one start looking down on the one that has not got a job. Patrick, hey, Tupac, he said, I've been through this many years of my life. Yes, that is the way we are. To be successful in Ghana is very difficult. It's very, very difficult. You need to have a thick skin. You need to be strong-minded. You need to be positive. You need to know the people that you work with, people that you are going to connect with, people that you are going to deal with. Otherwise, you'll be frustrated, man. When you start rising, people are waiting to see how you are going to fall. I call them the apartheid people. They are always sitting on the fence, looking for you to fall. And when you fall, they will let the whole world know that, of course, he was not going to amount to anything. He was just making noise. Today, I wrote something on Facebook. I said, Ghanaians don't shower praises on people who have started their vision. They only shower praises on people who have made it in life. That is a typical Ghanaian. If you start your vision, Ghanaians are stingy with their praises. They will never praise you for you to be swollen-headed. No. I don't know why. But let's see these same people. Somebody who is at the top already, who has made it. Come and see them. And those people, the sad aspect is that they don't have access to them. They have never met them. They don't know them. But they will be showering praises, encouraging them. But you that they are your friends, that you have started the vision, none of them will say you are doing well. None of them. None of them. That is why you have to hold on to the few that believes in your vision. The few that wants to be with you. The few that wants you to succeed. You have to hold on to them and work with them. You can write this thing down. When many of our people get to the top, they become what I call invincible. In this country called the United Kingdom, if I want to see my MP, I need to find an office number, book it with the secretary. I'll be given a date and time that the MP comes to town or to the office. I'll go and meet the MP and tell them my story. The MP will put, people don't have papers. They don't have stay. They think their MP can help them. They go to the MP, get supporting letter from the MP, take it to whatever immigration, and they can get their papers. MPs are accessible. I was telling a friend of mine that the line that I was on back in the days when I was working, I always had Boris Johnson taking the train with me as an MP, taking the train. Auntie, I see you. My name, Georgina. Yeah. When we get to a certain level, there is problem. We become invisible. You can't see us anymore. I see you, but I don't see you. A leader that is not accessible to his people, is that one a leader? No, that's a figurehead. He's not a leader. A leader that's not accessible to his people. I remember back in the days, when I came to Ghana, I was doing my business. And the MP for the area, I've been in Ghana for 3 years and I've never seen this MP. And bam, there was election. This MP was there. And I could see women taking their, how do you call it, their cloth, putting it on the floor for the MP to work on. And I asked one of the ladies, so when he became MP, did you ever see him in the 4 years? She said no. She said, so why are you putting the cloth on the ground? He said, yeah, but he's our MP. Yes, we have to praise him. He's the one. He's the... The mindset, the mindset, the mindset, the mindset of our people, the mindset of our people. One of the dangerous aspects that politics has destroyed us is that politics have taken away common sense. There is no common sense in our midst anymore because of politics. Because when A stands to follow this part and another one follows this part, whatever this one does, Mr. A doesn't care because I'm part of that party. I pray one day we get to that level where people can read in between the lines and vote. That today they can decide to vote to Mr. A, and if they don't do well, they will vote for Mr. B. This election that brought Boris Johnson on, and I was watching news, and so many Labour people voted for Conservative. Why? Because they believe that their party people cannot what? Deliver for Brexit. I pray we get to that level one day. Our mindset is on autopilot that we cannot change. Common sense is being destroyed because of politics. There is no common sense in Ghana anymore because of politics. Because everyone is standing on a particular place that they can never change their mind. How can your leader be invincible? Your leader is invincible. You can't see your leader. When you get to a certain level, you cannot see them. The Ghanaian working attitude. I'm going to talk about the Ghanaian working attitude. There is one thing I've realized in Ghana, and that is, if you give a job to somebody and you don't supervise it, there is about 70% like they are going to do the wrong thing. We don't pay attention to detail. No, we don't. If you give a job to somebody, you pay the person, you need to stand there and supervise the person. Because I can tell you, 70% they can get it wrong. Why? Because we don't pay attention to detail. Our attitude towards work, so bad. And the most annoying aspect is that when they are at fault and you are trying to correct them, they get angry. It's so sad. It's so sad the way we are becoming. You see, the world is running at a faster rate. And with what we are doing, sometimes I sit back and say, look, you see, when one day we are having a conversation and a friend just sarcastically says something that, as for Oscar, don't mind him, he will amount to nothing. And I said in my head that, look, I'll prove this guy wrong, but I'm not going to prove him wrong with my ways, but I'm going to prove him wrong with my works. Some time back, I had this guy calling me that, wow, he's amazed the way I've been consistent and been progressing in my own small way. And I was just saying in my head that, look, probably you've forgotten what you told me some time back. We need to, some people need to take the leadership mantle. Some people need to spearhead this agenda. Because now, even if I look on social media, we are too accustomed. Let me tell you, if today what I'm teaching now, if it is one of these, I don't even want to say celebrities, one of these bloggers that is coming to spew garbage about another person, you could see that they will have 1K views now. We don't like knowledge. We have married what stupidity is. Because all we want is something to say about somebody. Not what we can learn to change the status quo, what we can learn to change our life, what we can learn to change the nation. No. There is so much tension on social media. Everyone is fighting against each other. Pastors are fighting. Bloggers are fighting. Celebrities are having beef. There is fight here and there. And I'm like, when you look at the whole scenario of Ghana, there is so much tension. And this tension, they are unnecessary. How can we grow as a nation? How can we survive as a nation? How can we thrive as a nation? I'm still on Ghanaian working attitude. The second one, lackadaisical attitude towards work. I have a friend who had a business. And this guy employed a CEO. This guy was paying this guy about $1,200 worth in Ghana. And this guy is the one that comes to work late and leaves early. Every email, every warning that has been given, this guy still didn't care. So one time I was there and this guy called me and said, what should I do with this guy? And he showed me all the evidence of what they have done to really change him. But he's still not changing. Of course, you know what I would say. Fire him. I made sure the guy was fired. Because where the guy is going, this guy is not ready to go. Attitude towards work. When you employ some people and they get to a certain level, they become mini gods in your business. Our mindset needs to change. The mindset of the Ghanaian needs to change. And I think if you are watching us from another country, your mindset also needs to change. Africa. That is why I have positioned myself now on mindset. I'm going to hit on mindset. And if mindset is a human being, there will be blood. Because I believe all that we are doing and all that whatever we think we can achieve, we will not get to the level we want to be if we don't change the mindset. The mediocrity is too much. The Ghanaian attitudes towards work. If you start a business in Ghana and you don't keep an eye on the business, people will collapse the business for you. People will collapse the business for you. You see, there are a lot of rich people in Ghana. There are a lot of rich people in Ghana that can open businesses across Ghana. The moment you do that, you are more likely to buy yourself depression. We are always finding ways to bypass the system. You can have the most vigorous system, but people will find a way to bypass it. Most of the banks that have collapsed in Ghana, the leaders might have made their own mistakes, but a lot of people were giving loans to their friends and family, going at the back and taking certain percentages, knowing that these people cannot pay the loan. How can any business survive with bad debt? And you see, these same people are the people that will be having dinner with you. They are the people that will be coming to your house. They are the people that you go to church with. They are the people that you go to funeral with. They are the people that you go to parties with. They are the people that you share everything you have with. How can you succeed with this? As a nation, how can we succeed? If you start a business in Ghana and you don't keep an eye on it, there is a very good friend of mine who started, how do you call it? This Susu loans. The guy was doing exceptionally well. His business was growing. He started buying motors. He started buying cars. Business was growing. And as the business was growing, he was getting his family members, some of them, to take over. And not knowing one of the people he has put in charge learn how to sign his signature. And you see how Ghanaians are not strict on certain things. And this guy started cashing out checks. Before the guy realized, it's another story to be told one day. When you give a Ghanaian 10 Ghana cedis, he thinks you have got 1,000, so you have got enough. When somebody sees your business growing, they don't care whether you went for a loan. They don't care whether somebody gave you money that you have to pay back. They don't care. All they care about is that the money that comes in, they want to make sure they have a share of that money before they also come for their salary at the end of the month. Some people are prison to their business. Why? Because they cannot leave their business to any other people. How can a nation grow with such a mindset? How can a nation succeed with such a mindset? We don't have that spirit that, oh, Mr. A has started the business. Let us help this business to grow. So that when the business grows, all of us are going to be what? Part of the success story. We are going to have equity in the business, and all of us are going to be wealthy. I know people that started business with other people, just supporting them, and today the business owner is a millionaire and they are also millionaires. Our attitude. Let me tell you this. Let me share this quickly. Let me share this quickly. No. Let me share this quickly. A lot of people that live abroad, most people have invested in Ghana, whether a small business or something, that their aim is that if these things become very successful, then probably they can pack their bags and come home. I can tell you maybe 9 out of 10 of any Ghanaian that have invested in Ghana, they have regretted. Why? Because you never see your money. you will never see your money. Today is one excuse after the other. The following day is one excuse after the other. The following day is one excuse after the other. I have a friend who was building just last year. Just last year. He came to Ghana. He bought the land. And started and he left back abroad. Now I was speaking to this man. And he said he has sent 25,000 pounds. And still, they are still at the foundation stage. And I'm like, are you building a castle? He said, I gave it to a pastor friend. And I'm like, no. You see, we never want to be part of a success story. We kill the success story before it becomes success. We kill it along the way. Either at the early stage, we kill it. It's so sad the way we are. It's so sad. It's so sad the way we are. Legitimacy in getting a contract in Ghana. You can get all the paperwork right. You can be the leading person. Forget it. Cronyism. Cronyism. How can a nation develop with such a mindset? Cronyism. Very difficult for somebody to tender for a contract and that person that the contract is given to you genuinely, you deserve it. Among all those that really applied, you are the one. Okay, what he says, it is the teachings that we have been exposed to all this while. Then the teachings must change. The teachings must change. We cannot continue this way. I wonder how Ghana will become when my children grows up. Even now, the way it is. And it doesn't look like it's going to be better. We need to work harder. Nobody can change Ghana for us. We have to change it ourselves. And it starts from me and you. What can we do to make a difference? In our own small way, what can we do to make a difference? The difference starts from me and you. It doesn't start from government. How can we influence each other positively for us to have a better Ghana? Because collectively, if all of us are making a positive influence, then it's going to form a positive synergy. Emadate, I salute. Until the mindset of our people changes, Ghana will never change. It is so nice when you get to Kotoka Airport now. Very nice. When you see all the dual carriages in Accra, very nice. But just go outside Accra, going to Kumasi, how many villages you will see? We are still underdeveloped. We are still underdeveloped. From Kumasi to Sunyani, Sunyani to Tamale, how many villages can you count? I remember one time I was coming from Kumasi to at Obuasi to Cape Coast, and now I was counting the number of Asen. All these villages, I fell asleep on the way. Over 100 villages with no amenities, and we think we are developed. We are not. Why? Because the mindset of the people is not right. Even an assemblyman, his intention is about what he can get, not what he can help the community. That is the mindset of an assemblyman. So when you get to the top, and those at the top, all they are thinking is what they can get. We need to work harder as a country, because the direction we are going is not good. It will never work well for our children. The Ghanaian working attitude, there is no customer-centric focus. If a Ghanaian is doing a business, how they even talk to their customers. The mentality is that if you don't come, another person will come. I remember in 2008, I used to do training for the informal sector of the economy in Kumasi, and I was working with the Business Advisory Center in Kumasi. And we were doing training for the Tailors Association, the Tomatoes Association, all these kind of people who were using tree to really do the training. It was really exciting, and that was my early days into training. And one day I was having a customer service training, I think one of these Tailors Association, and I just gave a scenario that somebody comes to your shop and they touch things and they don't buy, what are you going to do? The answers were amazing. I'm going to walk them out. They can't waste my time. That's a typical Ghanaian. One of them said, and that one really touched my heart. He said, she's going to sack them away, and what she would tell them is that it is not them that gives customers, it is God. Yeah, Felix Lassie. Yeah, I know. My last hope has been the church, but in fact, most of the churches no longer seems to be interested in proper Christian values. It is now all about money, prosperity, sowing seed. Yes. Some of the churches, that is the motive. That is the motive. I always tell some of these pastors is that it is time the personal development of your church members become paramount. Because if your church members are not doing well in their business, if they are not doing well in their careers, it will automatically affect the church. So if your aim is to take money, and your businesses and your careers are not going on well, will they contribute? No. So it is time some of us, we have to be given the opportunity to teach the church how to move in terms of their business to the next level. But in Ghana, every church, every pastor is a motivational speaker. Every pastor is a businessman. Every pastor knows consulting. Almost all of them. So they don't see the need of you coming to do anything with them. Now I'm going to finish, and I'm going to talk about attitudes towards time. Our attitude towards time. I was telling somebody that one of the most, I don't know which word to use, but it's very sad. It's for you to live abroad for a long time. Because when you live abroad for a long time, and I can tell you, it's not everybody that has lived in abroad that have really inculcated that culture. Because if I've got an appointment with you, I will make sure I'll be there past or even earlier. I remember every Friday I used to go to a TV station, and the program starts 7:30, and by the time I get on the show, it is 8 o'clock. So where I was living, if I want to get there on time, I have to leave home 5:30. So by 5:30, I will leave home. By 6:15, I will be at the TV station. Wait until I'm called 8 o'clock. So one day, the host came in early. So she saw my car parked. And she was like, "Why are you so early?" And I told her, I said, "Wow. Most of our people would have come late." I said, "I'm one of you." He said, "No, you're a different one." We don't respect time. The leaders don't respect time. The people don't respect time. I remember around 2009, there was this big conference at Golden Tulip in Kumasi. And the AMA at the time, the boss, was supposed to come and address the whole thing. And we had Professor Bimpong, is it Boating, the surgeon? Yeah, I think that's his name, Bimpong. Yeah. He was also the guest speaker. He came about an hour early or so, because by the time we went there, we even went early, he was already there. And that was my first time of having a personal interaction with him. And this man was really, he's a person to be around with, because some of these people, when you get the opportunity to meet them. Now the AMA boss came about 2 hours late. And there was a confrontation between him and the AMA boss, that he is supposed to set good example for all of us. So when he held the mic, that is what he told me in front of everybody, that he is supposed to set good example for all of us, but he is the one that is rather 2 hours late. And what does he expect all of us sitting here to learn from? Our attitude towards time. When they call you to come and speak in a place, most of the times, by the time I get there, that is the time they are arranging chairs. By the time they have on the flyer, that's the time they are arranging chairs. Our attitude. Somebody called me to come and speak. I was there 30 minutes early. So when I got there, I called them down there. He was like, "Wow, you are there too early." Because they weren't even around. What kind of culture is this? And you see, what makes it worse is that when the people don't see anything wrong with it. The people, they don't see anything wrong with it. It's normal. It's okay. And when you start talking, they all see you like you are the one that's talking too much. They start looking at you that what is at all wrong with you? If we are late for 1 hour, what is wrong with you? I was at Legon, and I was speaking to one department. And I think it's the PRO that organizes the whole meeting, isn't it? The PRO was late 45 minutes. And I asked, "You were supposed to be here earlier than anybody else. You were supposed to be here earlier than anybody else. Why are you late? You see, the sad aspect is that the PRO was offended. An undergrad who is trying to take a leadership role is late 45 minutes, and you question him, and he is rather offended. The mindset of the Ghanaian, until it changes, Ghana will never develop. Our kind of development that we are talking about is a fake development, because the only places we can see tremendous change is a few of the regional capitals. All the rest, there is nothing at stake. I had the opportunity to travel from Kumasi to Obuasi with the public transport, and when I got there, it looks like they took me from the ground. The mindset of the people must change. The mindset of a typical Ghanaian must change. The mindset of the people, if it doesn't change, we are not going nowhere. When something starts late, nobody communicates. Nobody communicates because it is a norm. And I'm beginning to think that is this thing in our DNA? Is this thing in our DNA? I don't understand. Because you see, let me give you this. In this London that we live, I do a lot of speaking engagement, emceeing and all that. Every Ghanaian party, church, starts late and finishes late. But these same people, when it is Monday, they go to work on time. One day, I had the opportunity to MC a wedding of a Nigerian guy and a Ghanaian lady. And the wedding started 2 hours late. And I was asking myself that if this was a white person that knew that in a year's time they were going to have a wedding, how can it be late? So this kind of lateness is not only in Ghana, but also Ghanaians that are living in diaspora for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they haven't changed. How can it change? Our mindset needs to change. Until the mindset changes, nothing will change. I'm going to conclude with our inability to even work together. When two Ghanaians form a business, give them a year or two, it will collapse. Why? Because along the line, there's going to be confusion. When two Ghanaians start pursuing a common cause, give them about a year, 2, 3 years, they will break out. Why? Because there's going to be confusion. We cannot even work together. We cannot form partnerships to develop, to grow. Because two is always better than one. But we have now accustomed to only going it alone. Why? Because we don't even trust each other. There is no trust. We need to change our mindset. And until we change our mindset, nothing is going to work. Certain pettiness, backbiting, gossiping, unnecessary fighting That is what we enjoy. Bringing people down. That is what we enjoy. If somebody gets to a certain level and they fall, we start clapping. Now social media has become a platform for us to share the failures of others. Sometimes I ask, have you ever even thought about your failure one day? Yours might not be on social media, but you'll be in your corner and kill yourself. Sharing on true stories about people just for others to stay relevant. Destroying people, images that people have built over the years. Somebody will just use one sentence to destroy him. And we are so naive that when somebody says one thing about a person, we draw into conclusion and we all run with it as if that is the truth. We never listen to the other side of the story. We are too judgmental. Until we change our mindset, I can bet you the country will never develop. And on a personal level, all of us will not develop. Because what does it mean if you get to the top and all the people, their aim is to bring you down? You will never survive. For us to drive Ghana forward, some of us must step up the game. We don't need to get to the top before we can step up the game. In our own small way, we can make a change. We can make a big difference. Because we have given some people opportunity for them to acquire so much resources, and they are destroying the youth. Every youth now, when they don't pass, they are pastors. An easy route. Instead of building engineers, building lawyers, doctors. No. I'm not saying to be a pastor is wrong. But it has become a culture that young people now, it's an easy route for them. Because by 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they will be surviving. And probably the one that went to university will be struggling, even getting a job. We need to drive change. Change is a very painful process. Because to move yourself from a comfort zone to an uncomfortable one takes some drive. We believe some of these messages will change lives. Our aim is not to change the whole Ghana, but one person that will change from here. And if that one person changes, everything will change. A whole generation will be changed. The mindset of the Ghanaian must change. If the mindset of the Ghanaian is not changed, nothing will change. Next Wednesday, I'm going to interview one of our young people who is an engineer, who is an entrepreneur, and also an author. This young man is doing amazingly well. And he's going to share his story. Because I met him in Ghana recently, and he was sharing some of the challenges that he faces in business. The kind of attitude our people have. The kind of mindset they have. That for a young man to build a business in Ghana and to be successful, he's got a real story to tell. I'm going to interview him on this Facebook Live. And you have to be around. It's going to be 8 p.m. Wednesday. And Ghana is going to be 7 p.m. These are some of the stories you need to listen. And these are the stories that is going to inspire you to greatness. Until the mindset of our people change, we don't have freedom. Freedom can only come if the mindset of Ghanaians change. And the mindset of Ghanaians, look, if you want to see how the mindset of the Ghanaian is. See the way we drive on the road. Our driving is so chaotic, and that is how Ghana is. The system is chaotic. Just drop into a traffic. We're a country with no patience. And the reason why we don't have patience is that you can see the way we drive. Everybody wants to go. No. There is time for everybody to move the car. But when somebody does not have the opportunity to move the car, he wants to make sure that he will find a way and move the car in the midst of the traffic. That is the mindset we carry. We are not patient. We are not tolerant to each other at all. How can we continue as a nation? If you travel to certain countries and you see the way traffic is flowing, everybody is in their lane, everybody is cautious, you just realize that this is an organized country. Ours, no. A lot of my friends, when they come together, they cannot drive because it's too chaos for them. And I don't blame them. Why? Because you can easily have an accident. The mindset of the Ghanaian needs to change. And this is a movement. This is an agenda. I'm going to stamp the authority of this mindset revolution with my book, Mindset Revolution, Re-engineering it from prison to purpose. And we have started a mindset revolution coaching on Skype. Just inbox me. It's a 3-part series. And by the time we are through with you, after COVID-19, impossibility will be nothing. Because if you don't win it here, you can never win it outside. That is why a lot of people don't know. You need to win the battle here before you can win it outside. But many are looking for resources to fight the battle outside. The best resource that you need is to feed this one here and align it to success. The reason why many fail is that they are successful outside, but they are failed here. So when they face challenges, they can easily lose this one because this one is not prepared to handle the what? The challenge. Sacramento, I salute. Let's keep working. It can be better. We can do well. Ghana is for all of us. We can succeed together. No one is an island. All of us can work together to bring a positive change to Ghana. Because that is all that we have. We don't have any other country. We can become successful together by working with each other and becoming the best that we can be. See you next Wednesday. I've got my brother Kwabena Obindakon. He's going to come on the show. We are going to talk about the typical Ghanaian mindset. How can we change it? How can we make it better? How can we skew it on a particular path that is going to bring success to people personally and to the nation? God bless you.